In the vast continent of Africa, there were only two countries that managed to escape the clutches of colonization. Today, Africa is home to 55 sovereign states, but before World War I, there were only two. The rest of the continent fell under the rule of powerful European empires such as Britain, France, Spain, Portugal, Belgium, Germany, and Italy. But what about those two countries that remained independent? How did they manage to avoid colonization? The formal partition of Africa took place in 1884 during the Berlin Conference, where European powers gathered to regulate their conquests. This conference is considered the starting point of the scramble for Africa. However, colonization had already been taking place since the 18th century. By the 1870s, Europeans had already gained control over 10 of Africa, and by the start of World War I in 1914, they had complete control over the entire continent, except for two countries, Ethiopia and Liberia. Ethiopia, also known as Abyssinia, is an ancient country with a rich history. It was a powerful kingdom during biblical times known as the Kingdom of Aksum. In the 19th century, Ethiopia was ruled by a series of emperors. This location in the Horn of Africa made it difficult for Europeans to reach, and the British preferred trade over conquest in Ethiopia. Although there were several skirmishes between the British and Ethiopians, the British never attempted to colonize the country. Ethiopia faced invasions from Egypt in 1874 and Italy in 1896. The war with Italy resulted in the Battle of Adwa, where the Italian army was decisively defeated. In 1896, Italy recognized Ethiopia as an independent state through the Treaty of Addis Ababa. However, in 1935, Italian dictator Benito Mussolini invaded Ethiopia again and successfully annexed it. Ethiopia remained under Italian occupation until 1941, when it regained its independence. Since then, Ethiopia has faced numerous challenges, including famine, civil wars, and coups. It still struggles with issues of freedom and remains one of the least free countries in the world. However, its sovereignty has never been threatened since 1941. The case of Liberia is quite different. Liberia was founded by the United States in 1821 as a settlement for freed African American slaves. For the first 17 years, it operated as a kind of American colony, but it was not a colonized land. The American Colonization Society, led by white individuals who believed that black people should live in Africa, established Liberia as a separate country for those willing to leave the United States. However, the cost of maintaining the colony became too high, leading to Liberia gaining full independence as a republic in 1847. Despite this, European nations continued to view Liberia as an American colony, which resulted in them avoiding it during the scramble for Africa. Liberia has always modeled itself after the United States, and the elite class identified as American Liberians rather than Africans. This mindset contributed to Liberia's development, making it one of the most advanced countries in Africa until 1979. However, after a coup in 1980, Liberia experienced a rapid decline, exacerbated by a civil war that destroyed much of its infrastructure. Today, Ethiopia is ranked 39th out of 55 African countries in terms of human development, while Liberia is ranked 32nd. These two countries, Ethiopia and Liberia, serve as unique examples of how they managed to maintain their independence amidst the wave of colonization that swept across Africa. Their stories shed light on the complexities of African history and the struggles faced by nations striving for sovereignty and development.